September 9th, 1997.
The corner was all I knew. That's all I grew up knowing.
It is a place that dominates lives.
These kids are born into the corner. They're living it every day. Every aspect of their lives is touched by it.
And often devours them.
You gotta understand, if you don't leave here, if you don't get off of this corner here, you'll continue to die. This is death.
You can see the deterioration of the generations right there. I mean, my father's generation, they was like the baby boomers, and my generation is Generation X, and the generation under me, good Lord, is Generation Hopeless.
Tonight, The Corner, learning what it takes to survive.
This is ABC News Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting from Washington, Forrest Sawyer.
No doubt you've driven through the rough parts of your town, maybe checking to make sure the doors are locked, certainly not stopping. Tonight, you're going to meet two men who did stop on a dangerous street corner in the toughest part of West Baltimore and stayed an entire year. A retired Baltimore homicide cop named Ed Burns on the right, and David Simon, once a Baltimore Sun crime reporter whose book Homicide inspired the NBC TV series. That street corner, much like the ones we've all driven by, became a very personal place for Burns and Simon, and they wrote it all down in a book called The Corner. You come there if you want to buy drugs and add your name to the list of those helping destroy the neighborhood. Or you come to the corner when you're ready to make a stand and try and rebuild your community. Tonight, you'll meet three people trying to do just that. DeAndre McCullough, one-time hustler and drug addict who's fighting to put his life back together. Joe Laney, once a heroin addict, now out of prison, helping drug abusers change their lives. And Ella Thompson, with the city's environmental program for youth, an unswerving advocate for the neighborhood's children. There is, in a very real sense, a battle for this neighborhood's future, which makes this corner ground zero.
Oh God, even right now, help them to look up, to know that they've got to begin to scramble out of the mess that we've gotten ourselves into.
I'm only here for that green paper with the lead. Trying to cop those colossal size Picassos and have poppy chip coke outside those gatos. The end with cash flowing like Sosa.
To be on the corner, not only do you have to believe in it, you have to really involve yourself with it. And just like a person can have a relationship with another person, that's the kind of relationship I had with the corner.
When I was out there, it meant money, it meant sex, it meant drugs, it meant excitement. I mean, it was fun. But now, to me, it means pain, it means death.
The corner teaches you getting over as a way of life. Whatever you can do, whatever move you can make to get something for nothing is a good move. It's a Frankenstein. It's something that we built because we weren't paying attention. And now it has grown and it claims so much. It destroys so much.
You're gonna die, my brother.
This thing is working 24 hours a day. This is an entity.
If you could go outside right now and see a 5-year-old and ask them about the drug in the area, they could tell you more than I could.
You have kids 9, 10, and 11 involved with packages, whereas before it might have been 12, 13, 14. It's stepping down, it's stepping down, it's stepping down. What else in their lives shows up every day, pays out a little bit of money, moves a little bit of product, actually exists as an economic engine?
It was fun for a while, but once I got about 12 or 13, that's when I started getting caught up like everybody else do. Started smoking the weed, started carrying the guns.
I think the unique thing about DeAndre was that he was the most individualistic of the boys. DeAndre was one of the smartest kids we ran into, but he was also a product of this process. And you could see where DeAndre was going. And it gives you an idea how powerful the corner is. Because even a kid like DeAndre, who is smart,
who is not that much affected by peer pressure. You can see him being dragged along step by step.
When DeAndre's cousin Dinky got killed, I think that was probably the lowest point for him personally. It was the kid he was closest to, the kid he trusted the most, the kid who mattered the most to him in that whole crew.
They were more than cousins, they were brothers. And when Dinky got killed, DeAndre had to avenge it.
That's when my drug problem got really out of hand. That's when I was robbing people. That's when all the violence mostly started. I mean, I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of on that situation. I'm not blaming his death on the things that I did, but it eased my mind to see someone in as much pain as I was in. I mean, I got a kick out of making people cry because that's how I felt on the inside.
I think DeAndre intellectually has seen that he's running a dead end against the corner, and that he's now decided, again, intellectually, to make a change. But I don't know if it carries much past that. It takes a long time to change the process of thinking. DeAndre is superbly adapted to one world, and that world is the world of the corner. And it took years and years and years for him to hone his abilities for that world.
He has to learn the humility that is not only not required on the corner, but is dangerous on the corner. Turning the other cheek on the corner will get you hurt. But turning the other cheek when you're working a straight job is what you have to do when you got a boss.
You come in the house of the Lord, he can get you up off that corner.
Of course, I'm thinking differently now than when I was out there, because the corner was all I knew. That's all I grew up knowing, but now it's something different for me, man. I mean, the corner has nothing to offer me now, nothing that I didn't already get into anyway. So, that's what the corner is.
I don't think too many young men, 19, 20 years old, start out on this road. Usually this road comes about 35, 45 years old when you're broken down and you just can't hustle anymore. For him to take this step at this time shows you what kind of kid he really is. It shows you he's got the moxie, he's going to chance it. Whether or not he makes it, I don't know. The corner's very powerful.
Hold on the side, yeah, it came out of the oven.
He has a lot of people rooting for him, which somebody other than DeAndre doesn't have. But even all the rooting in the world, the cheering, the helping, won't get him over. I mean, it's going to be him who gets himself over. Not David, not me, not anybody else. It'll be DeAndre.
Some people use God as their higher power, you know, as far as getting in the church, but I use my kids as my higher power, and I know if I'm not there for them, they're going to turn out like I did, so I just do my best and be the best person I can, and hopefully things will work out.